Hey guys, Ponce here back on the PBE, here to bring you guys a preview of some potential nerfs to Cinderhulk again. Now, as you can see through the magic of editing, I've included in Notepad like the actual numbers of what's going on in terms of the Cinderhulk item. It basically all revolves around the immolate damage. So you guys are probably aware, currently on live, immolate sort of ramps up in terms of damage and gets those stacks and deals more damage over time. That's actually been removed, and in fact it deals less damage than the non-stack sort of base damage of Immolate is currently on live. So as you can see, it currently, at least on PBE, deals 15 damage plus zero point 0.6 per level. However, to compensate for that, the one area which it has been buffed in, it now reads, unique passive. Immolate now deals 100% bonus damage to minions and monsters. So in that sense, it's actually been buffed versus monsters because there's none of that ramp up time. So you just kind of walk up to things you get in combat and like you're dealing actually slightly more damage to monsters than the old version. Very, very slightly. Possibly the same. It depends on how they, what they do with the decimal points in this game. I don't know if they round up or down or what. But anyway, I did a little bit of math for you guys. So you see where it says math time in the notepad right there? Old Cinderhulk at max level dealt 34 damage with no time in combat. So that was like when it didn't have any stacks, or was it one stack or whatever. And then at 10 stacks, it would ramp all the way up to 51 damage to basically anything around you. Now the new Cinderhulk at maximum level, it deals 28.8 or 25.8 damage versus champions at all times. Again, there's no ramp up time or stacks or anything. However, versus minions and monsters at all times, it will deal 51.6 damage per second. Now, just for comparison's sake, I've added Sunfire Cape at the bottom there. Sunfire Cape at max level deals 43 damage at max level. I always thought it quite curious that Cinderhulk actually dealt more damage to people when it ramped up than Sunfire Cape, which probably was a contributing factor, like at least part of the reason, not the entire reason. It was part of the reason, you'd see people top lane with the Cinderhulk, and they would just be dealing more damage than Sunfire Cape. That was quite strange. So this is kind of a no-brainer nerf. You could sort of see this one coming. Cinderhulk was going to be nerfed regardless, and so yeah, I suppose this was the logical area to hit it. Now, again, it's partially to do with.
How many battles have I won?
Let's wait for Scion to stop talking. He's a very important man, zombie. Part of it is going to be, I guess they really don't want people taking Smite top lane and doing that whole gimmicky Smite Cinderhulk thing. Now, I never bothered learning to do that because I knew it wouldn't last very long. And anytime I'd run into it, I'd just beat it by playing normally anyway. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to bother with this gimmick. But aside from that, now I guess the tank junglers are not going to be quite as strong. Certainly, people are calling it the tank meta, and for a reason. I don't pay attention to this whole quote-unquote meta stuff and what people are doing. It doesn't really matter to me. I play the same all the time, and my results don't change. So I'm just like, meta, whatever. But I have noticed that there's a lot of people playing tank stuff, and it's fairly simplistic, and it is good. So I do see why this stuff is being nerfed. Now, in terms of whether or not this is actually going to hit live, I suspect this will. Whether or not they will touch Cinderhulk or just sort of, I guess, by extension, Smite top laners, tank Smite top laners further, I don't know. I suspect in terms of Cinderhulk as an item itself, we won't see it balance change too much more than this. It's probably in a goodish area at this point. Like, this is the third time they're nerfing it now, I think. But yeah, in any case, don't have really too much more to say on the matter other than that. See you guys around, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.